What's up, guys? This is Adam from esportsheaven.com, and I'm here with Manny. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you?
Doing well, man. This is a great tournament at the Barclays Center. It's insane. Now, I know you entered the tournament for Street Fighter V, Brooklyn Beatdown. How did things go? Walk me through your matches a little bit.
Okay. I had a few difficult opponents in my pool. I had Knuckle Doo, Snake Eyes, Defeat Lee. Yeah. So and I haven't been really practicing. So coming into the match, I was just like, I'm just gonna play my game and just do what I do with the little bit that I know. I lost to Knuckle Doo, of course, a really good player, and then I ended up losing to Now. He's a Korean player, and I didn't know who he was. So apparently he's like one of Infiltration's trading partners or whatever. Yeah, so he ended up beating me, and didn't do that good. But I don't feel that bad because there's a lot of good players like that have won tournaments that are already out, because that's how stacked the tournament is. A lot of competition here.
Right. Yeah, this is like one of those things like Evo at other tournaments where it's just like every pool is like there's some killers in there. You said you haven't been practicing though. What's been going on exactly? Is it just life stuff, or maybe you haven't been enjoying the game? What's going on?
Okay. Well, it's a couple things. I haven't been playing just because I don't really have like, the thing for me is, if I don't really like a game, it's really hard for me to be like, all right, you're CDjr, so you just have to play this game you're going to be good at. No, like I really have to have like that fire. I have to have fun with the game. So I haven't been having that much fun with video games lately. I've been dealing with life stuff. I'm moving out, taking care of things at home. So, now I'm starting again to get back into the flow of things, of, practicing or whatever. But, I just took a little break, like 2 years or a year and a half, and I'm ready to come back. I just started playing Street Fighter V again, trying out KOF, and, just getting ready for Injustice 2 next year.
Right. Going along with what you just said there, I know there is a lot of people that, I don't want to say that you didn't achieve those expectations, but there were some people who thought that, you'd be that guy for Killer Instinct and for Mortal Kombat X. Would you say what you just described is kind of the reason why you didn't perform as well as some people thought you would, or is it more like you didn't like those games or things like that?
Okay. Well, at this point, I don't like answering this question because, well, no. I mean, I love answering this question, but I just don't care what people think when I answer the question, because they would just say, oh, he's just making an excuse or whatever. But you're right. Like, I just think I haven't been performing that well in the games, not because I'm bad at the games, just like I explained. If I don't have passion for something, it's really hard. Just anything. It doesn't have to be with video games. Just anything in life. Like, if you're doing something and you're not enjoying it, that's not really, like, it's not natural. You can't really, like, get better at it. So Killer Instinct changed. The game went in a direction that I just personally, I'm not going to say that the game is bad, because there's some players that like that type of style. But just to me personally, from Season 1 to Season 2 and Season 3 is a completely different game. Completely. And, I just didn't like the changes, stopped playing. And Mortal Kombat X, everybody knows that. I just straight up didn't like the game when it came out. Like a lot of people, they didn't like the heavy mix-ups or whatever. So it's just how it is. CDjr, Manny now, because it's not CDjr anymore. But Manny, me, if I don't like a game, really hard for me to be good at. But I'll be back soon. Because, I'm playing Street Fighter V again, and I'm starting to have fun with the game again. Because, sometimes you just have to take a break to come back to things and just start over. But yeah, like, people expecting me to win in Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat. You'll know when I'm going to win something. You'll see it in my eyes. You'll see it in the way I talk. You'll see it when I express myself about a game. But right now, I'm just taking a break, trying to build back to it.
So, going along with that, in terms of like you're taking that you took a break and something like that, do you think that for you it's more about enjoying the game? What brings you back? Is it the competition aspect? Is it the games themselves? When you take these breaks, what eventually brings you back to competing and the scene itself?
Honestly, and I think this is like the biggest thing, is my friends in the community. I just have become friends with players that I never thought that I would be friends with, and I made a lot of good friends. And just seeing them on stream or on Twitter after they go to a tournament talking or whatever, makes me kind of sad because I'm not there. So I just being with my friends at tournaments, that brings me back. The competition, or when somebody that I don't think is that good is doing good, that brings me back. I'm like, oh, this guy's not supposed to be winning. Let me come back into the game, things like that. So, yeah, but I think it's just my friends that bring me back, man. My friends and the competition with my friends.
Now, you're focusing on Street Fighter V now. Is it just because of you enjoy the game and nothing else, or are you really motivated by obviously the Capcom Pro Tour and Capcom Cup and the amount of money that's been invested into the scene?
My thing with Street Fighter V has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with esports, has nothing to do with fame, nothing. One of my goals in the FGC always has been I will be really good at a Capcom game, and the players that I grew up watching and looking up to, I want to face them in tournament and beat their but not on some malicious. I respect them, and one of my dreams was to take a Street Fighter game serious, and these people that I look up to, I want to face them in tournament. That is my drive. I haven't been able to accomplish that because I don't know if you know, I'm not sponsored anymore by Steam Code. So, around the time where Street Fighter V came out, I let go of my, me and my sponsors parted ways. I started working, dealing with life. So I couldn't really focus on Street Fighter V that much. But what drives me to Street Fighter V is nothing to do with money, fame, or whatever. So I think when I finally settle down and really take the game serious, I think I'll be one of the best players just because I want it that bad. I've been waiting for a Street Fighter game that I like so I can compete against these players that I grew up watching. Right. And yeah, that's what drives me to play Street Fighter V.
And you have been playing it. I noticed on Twitter too, sometimes you talk about different characters that you're trying out, things like that. What would you say you're kind of focused on and like zeroed in and just like, okay, this is my character, this is what I'm focusing on, and why did you choose that character? Because it seems like you're a fan of the whole cast and certain things that they can do, certain aspects of each character.
That's a problem that I have as a player, and I'm really trying to work on it. When I like a game, because I like Street Fighter V, despite what a lot of people say, the things that they complain about is not the things I complain about. Like I might complain about like a character or something, but players are complaining about the dashing, the jumping, the 8 frames, and that. Like I don't have problems with that. But my problem with the game is liking too many characters. So sometimes I don't know, like, if I'm gonna stay with this character or if I'm gonna like play 2 characters or whatever. Like I started with Ken. Ken is my all-time favorite Street Fighter character, but his style is not me. So when other characters came out, I was trying them out, Alex, a few characters, and at one point I was like, you know what? Let me just try to play Chun and just play to win. I played it for 2 weeks, so it's too boring. So I just sat down and did some study, and I was like, yo, what character am I really gonna play? Like, what am I gonna focus on? And I just thought about it and was like, I have the most fun with Ibuki. Win or lose, I just feel good playing the character. Like, there's no like, oh man, this guy beat me. Oh, I'm mad. Like, I don't even get mad losing, and I like that about the character because even if I lose or win, I'm having fun. So that's why I think I'm gonna be staying with Ibuki until season 2 next year. Because she's just the character. I don't know if she might be the best, one of the best, really good, really whatever. I don't care because I'm having fun. Though I know what she can do. I know what she's capable of, but that's outside of the question already because I'm just having fun with the character.
Now, it's interesting that you say that because if I recall, I remember I think it was during the EVO finals this year, and Sonic Fox was on the ropes a little bit, and you were just like don't be prideful, man. Just choose Alien. How does that kind of work into it? Because you're telling someone else to pick top tier, but you're saying, for me, it's just all about having fun.
Well, this goes back to the question that you asked me at first. What motivates me to play Street Fighter? Right. If I was motivated to just pick a character to win just because I want to win and be one of the best, I would play Chun-Li, I would play Karen, I would play Cammy. But that's not my motivation. My motivation is to get better so I can compete against these players that I used to look up to. Sonic Fox, now that you mentioned when I tweeted him to just pick Alien in the grand finals, he's a competitor that everybody's gunning for, and that's his game. He's there to win. Right. If I was, and I did that back in Killer Instinct Season 1, because my favorite character, believe it or not, in Killer Instinct is Jago. But I predicted Saberwolf, how cheap he was going to be, and Justin Wong was playing Saberwolf. Right. So when the Killer Instinct came out, I was like, am I going to play the character that I love, or am I going to play a character that is going to give Justin a run for his money? Right. And I ended up choosing Sadira, a character that I didn't like as much as Jago, but she was just better. See, at that point, I was not thinking about fun. I was just thinking about being good at KI, winning, and not losing to Justin Wong. Right. And Street Fighter V is different. Street Fighter V, I'm just trying to have fun, and then once I get to a level that I'm like comfortable, like I feel that I could be other players, then maybe if people are expecting things from me, or like I'm sponsored, or I'm going to tournaments, if I see that Ibuki's not working out, then of course I'm gonna switch characters. But that's not the goal right now is not winning. The goal for me with Street Fighter 5 is to have fun, because the game just came out. We're gonna have a season 2, probably season 3, so we have all the time in the world. I'm just having fun. I don't think I'm gonna qualify for Capcom Pro Tour. I don't have no points, so I might as well just, enjoy the character and work with her and have her ready for season 2.
You mentioned that you're talking about sponsors, and you've had your fair share. You've been around, and obviously we're in this new era of esports for the fighting game community. Is there a specific sponsor that you're looking for, like a dream team or something like that, or what exactly are you looking for from sponsors? Are there some people that have reached out to you and been like, "Nah, I'm okay, thank you"? How are you doing on that front?
Actually, a few sponsors reached out to me, and I also sent a few letters. The ones that reached out to me, they were offering things that I think I deserve better. So I turned them down. And the big sponsors, of course, they didn't really. Some of them responded, but some of them were giving me the, we'll see, whatever, how you do or whatnot. So I respect, like, a lot of sponsors are not looking at me right now because I'm not performing well. And that thing with Street Fighter 5 right now is the sponsors are looking for players that are performing good, that are doing good, that are going to qualify for Capcom Pro Tour. So I will say that I don't really think I deserve it because I don't even really have, like, a main game right now. Like, I'm going to sponsor him for this game. Because right now I'm playing Street Fighter 5, KOF, and MKX is getting a new patch. So I'm going to be playing that for fun, just to try it out and see if, I play the game again. But, yeah.
Now, there are some other games coming out soon. I know you have been playing KOF. Injustice 2 is coming out. How do you feel about that? From what I recall, you didn't play too much of Injustice 1, but it's another Realm game, and you were kind of known for that. How are you feeling about it?
Injustice 2 will be my main game. In that game, there's no playing around. There's not going to be no love for character. There's just so many players in the NRS community right now that think they're good. And they need to come back down from the clouds. That's one of the reasons, and just like, I'm done not being good at NRS games, because my last good NRS game was MK9. Wasn't that good in Injustice 1, even though I placed top 8 in 2 majors, though I was just not even playing. And MKX, I wasn't that good. So Injustice 2, there's just no more games. That's gonna be my game. Like, Sonic Fox is not going to be eating alone anymore. The one that taught him a lot of the things he knows is back.
Okay, all right. Now, it's interesting that you brought that up, because in Mortal Kombat 9, you were going to, like, tons of events, like even MLGs and things like that. And there are a good amount of people in the fighting game community, for whatever reason, are kind of opposed to the esports thing. You've been to MLGs. You're at an ESL event right now. How do you kind of feel about the differences between the grassroots tournaments and the more esports tournaments? How do you think they compare? Which do you like more? Things like that.
Well, one of the things that I appreciate and like about esports tournament, I always said this since the MLG days, is just how organized everything is. There's no waiting for matches. There's no you have to be on time or they will DQ you. They also have a lot of setups for tournaments plus setups for casuals. Wherever it is, they always have like either a screen that tells you your pool or whatever. There's always you're always informed of what's going on. Like, the only reason you might get DQ or miss a tournament match or whatever is your problem, not because the staff is messing up, not because the tournament's running late, not because the tournament didn't provide this many setups. That will never happen in an esports tournament. The things that we can have in an esports tournament is, the getting loud, getting hype in the front row, throwing curses here and there, being human, being us, being us. That's the difference. Where in grassroots tournaments, sometimes we have problems running pools, sometimes we have problems, like people being late, so they have to get DQ. But we have the hype factor. We can get rowdy here, and you can't say anything because this is us. So, yeah, I think the difference is more esports tournament are more organized and more. Damn, I don't want to say civil because then that would be like a disrespect. Right. But it's more like professional, I guess. Whereas, grassroots is more like. Well, it's not. That's the thing about it. I don't want to say grassroots because when you say grassroots, you generalize every tournament. There are some major tournaments like Combo Breaker that no esports tournament will come close to that. Shout out to Hado, by the way, Rick. Best tournament I ever been to. A lot of good grassroots tournaments run like esports, esports tournaments. It's just that the majority, sometimes the same problems that we've been having for years, man. Like people being late, staff not running the pools on time, not a lot of setups, not casual setups, too cramped up in one room, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Now, we're here too, and you're from New York, man. How does it feel for you to have such a major esports event come here, the Barclays Center, and not only that, this is ESL's first foray into Street Fighter. How does it feel for you, not only as a player, but also as someone that lives in New York, for something like as incredible as this to happen?
I'm actually motivated, bro, because we never had something this big for a fighting game in the East Coast. In New York, we didn't have anything this big. So I'm really excited, and honestly, I could say that I'm leaving here a little bit more motivated because, again, I wasn't traveling like that. So, coming here and seeing my friends and, players and everybody just like competing, it motivated me more, and knowing that esports is growing. So if, now is the time to get into esports, either as a player, commentator, content creator. Now is the time because we've never had this, and we have it now, so we might as well just, take advantage of it, help the people that are giving us this opportunity, help them, grow with them, and yeah, man, I'm really excited and really, really happy that this is happening.
Okay, so I might ask, this might be a little bit of a controversial question, but if they make KI Season 4 and it's something that you like, will you come back to the game?
If they make KI Season 4 and... Oh my God, I was about to say something. It's not even about making the game no more. I just think that another I don't want to say that Iron Galaxy is a bad company, but gameplay-wise for the competitive scene, I just don't think they have what it takes. No offense. Filthy Rich was... When Season 1 came out, Filthy Rich was working with the game, with Killer Instinct Season 1, Double Helix. And I think the game came out the way it did because Filthy Rich is also a really, really good fighting game player. He's a legend. He's a Tekken legend. Won many tournaments. So you could kind of feel when you play KI that there was somebody working in that game that knows what they're doing. Because, you had players like Justin Wong playing the game. You had players like Champ, Eduardo. There was a lot of players that people wouldn't think that they would play that game. And, Justin got, third at EVO 2014 when he played? Or fourth? I don't remember. But, a lot of people were playing. And, as the game kept changing, people were leaving because the game was just, becoming something that the majority of the players that have been playing fighting games from before didn't like it. A lot of the people that defend a lot of the things KI have is just because they're new KI players. So if they make a Season 4, I just think it has to be done with by another company and somebody or a few individuals that know fighting games and that are good, because it's just the decisions right now with the balancing are just not something that I would take seriously in a competitive scene. Not me.
All right. So throughout this interview, well, at least from what I've noticed, it seems like you're very based on, I like this game and not so much this game. It's all about enjoyment for you. So for you, what is a game that you like? What would you say is your dream game? What to you is like the game that, okay, if it's like this, I'm totally gonna play it. I'm all about it. This is everything that I want in terms of gameplay.
Killer Instinct Season 1 was 3 changes away from my dream game. Really? MK9 was like 3 or 4, not changes, fixes away from my dream game. I just want a game that you can express your skill in the game, and if somebody is not as good as you, they cannot hurt you. They cannot put fear in you. They cannot do anything that's gonna make you lose or think about losing just because they're not better than you. A lot of the mechanics that they're putting in these games, I am a competitor. I'm sorry, I don't care about sales. I don't care about Street Fighter selling $1 million. I don't care about Killer Instinct selling, 1,000,000 copies. I don't care about none of that. I'm a competitor. So, okay, I understand that you want to make the games a little bit more easier for other players to get into it, but at the same time, you are nerfing and, in a way, disrespecting the players that are already here and been here, because you're basically pairing players that are not as good with them. It's like taking, I like music. I like the piano, my favorite instrument. It's like you're gonna create a new piano that is gonna basically tell you how to play what key, and it's like you're changing something that is skillful. You cannot make a piano you cannot change the piano. You have to learn, you have to learn your chords, you have to learn your hand independency, you have to learn I like that. Fighting games now is like, oh, you do before and back then in games you had to do forward, down, and down forward for a dragon punch. Now you just do down forward, and the dragon punch comes out. See, like stuff like that, like nerfing execution, nerfing like allowing more freedom in movement, and nerfing the execution. Let players feel that they're doing something, and that's what I think is wrong with video games now. Like they are making it easier for other players, but they're not really taking into consideration the players that that been here from the beginning. That's my opinion on that.
All right, that's interesting. Okay, so to go off of that, because I think that's kind of like a commentary on how games have progressed. Like if you look back at Marvel 2, like no one wants to play that now because of how difficult it was. How do you feel about balance patches? Like when do you think it's a good time to patch? Do you think a game should ever be patched? Like say like CVS 2 was never patched. Like neither was Marvel 2. How do you feel that? When is it a good time to patch, and how often do you think it should happen?
That is a very tricky question because a lot of people say it's good that Street Fighter V didn't get touched in like a lot of like big changes. It's not gonna get touched the next year. I'm really sad about that because the game actually now has a lot of problems that people want fixed. So a patch would have come in handy right now. A game like, let's say, let me use KI because I'm a KI player. KI Season 1, when it came out, you didn't really have to make a lot of changes, just a few things. So it was okay to not touch the game because there were not a lot of things to change. So it's a really tricky question because, sometimes you might need a patch because this character had an infinite that we didn't know about, or this character's active hurt box and active frames is too much, so you could just abuse this normal. And there are things like that. Like let me use Karen as an example. Even though she's not the best in the game, I'm gonna get hate for this, but let's say Karen. She has a move that starts at 4 frames, is active for 3 frames, and is +3 on block. There is no character in the game that has anything close to that. Mind you, the pushback is not there, so she gets to do it 3 times, +3, +3, +3, and then she could check you with a crouching medium kick. I think that is scrubby. And again, it goes back to making games easier. Before, to pressure like that, in games like that, you had to really be skillful. Now you just get close and do like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I think that's something that, in my opinion, if the game came out 3 to 4 months after, I saw that she was that strong on the neutral, whereas the rest of the cast have to take risks like dashing or jumping when she could just play. She's the only one that can play solid. I would have a little nerve, like let's make her more even with the rest of the characters because she just has too much. So I think that sometimes patches are good, sometimes it's not. But sadly, and well, at least in my opinion, it all depends on the developers. If you don't want a patch right away when the game comes out, then take your time on the game and release a good product so people don't complain at the beginning. Which is the problem now too. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get to that point. I think a lot of the reasons that patches are needed and that people complain is because it seems that developers are rushing their products. There's no like, as you can see now, like they're releasing games by seasons now, like KI, Mortal Kombat changed from Mortal Kombat X to XL, Street Fighter. So it's like they're doing a game, working on it, but then like they know that it's not fully done yet, but they're just gonna release it like that because they will release patches, they will release DLC or whatever. Well, if you do it like that, then you're gonna have to deal with the complaints, with the people saying you need patches with that. So I think we might just have to go back to the old times where we took like 6 or 5 years to work on a game so we could release a good product, or else suffer the consequences of people complaining at the beginning. And yeah, I think that's another thing also that is all bringing in the patches and people asking for patches because games are being released and made too quick. Right. So there is not a lot of time to be testing the game. So yeah.
All right, so going outside the game a little bit, everybody knows, if they followed you on Twitter, you're a big gym guy, you're a big music guy. How important do you think it is for going to the gym? How do you think that important it is for you as a competitor? And how important do you think it is what music does for you as a competitor as well? How do these things follow into your mindset and the way you prepare?
Well, first of all, I always thought that having a healthy body also creates a healthy mind. And sometimes when I wake up, and I just want to turn the game on and play a few rank matches, my body feels heavy, because I just got up, I have all sorts of nods, I haven't stretched. And even if I just stay there playing right after waking up, I feel heavy throughout the whole game. Like, but then if I go to the gym, you know, run a little bit, work out, and I come back, you just feel this. I don't know how to explain it. You just feel satisfied, like you accomplished something. So your body's just happy. Like and you can't control it because it's your body that's happy. Your body's happy that it, you know, it worked out, it was active. So working out for me, it calms me and it puts me in a relaxed state, in a state where, you know, my body doesn't feel heavy, my mind is clear, and that's how I use the gym. Like how important the gym is to me when it comes to, you know, so gaming and music. How does music help me? Oh, in training mode, I guess. I put a lot of, well, not a lot, but like I like to listen to like slow music when I'm in training mode, like either jazz or soul, you know, like James Brown or whatever, you know, like really relaxed music. And it helps me, not that it helps me focus, but sometimes being in training mode for too long, it gets boring. But if you're listening to an artist that you really like and you really look up to, then, you know, you're also having fun, you know, listening to the music, and you're never gonna get bored because you're listening to music while you're practicing whatever you have to do. So, yeah, I think music is just a good way to be in training mode. Yeah.
We talked a lot about everything. I don't have anything else to say to you, man. Are there any shout-outs you want to give? Words you want to say to your fans? How can your fans follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at CDmanny. And I just want to say to my fans that I'm sorry that I haven't been playing. I'm sorry that I haven't been performing. But, you know, sometimes you just have to take a break from gaming and deal with life. But I promise you, to my fans and my friends, that when I make a comeback, it's going to be unexpected. It's going to be unexpected.
Here you guys have it. Keep an eye on him. I'm sure he's going to make this comeback that he's talking about. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to esportsheaven.com for more coverage of ESL One New York 2016. We'll see you guys.